Welcome to this episode where we meet with our thoughts aloud and search together for light in the darkest places. Today we will talk about something we all face in varying degrees, yet it remains one of the most challenging obstacles we may encounter. How can we grow in a painful environment? Talking about pain is not easy. It is not something we choose. Rather, it is often imposed upon us. A painful environment could be an unsupportive family, a draining job, a life that makes you feel lonely even when you're surrounded by people, or even yourself, when you become your own worst enemy. But can we grow despite that? Can pain be fuel instead of a chain? This is what we will try to discover today. Chapter 1. Understanding a painful environment. Before we talk about growth, we need to understand what truly makes our environment painful. Pain is not just an event or a situation. It is the way we feel about what happens to us. A painful environment is often repetitive, recreating the same patterns, whether conflicts, frustrations, or disappointments. Emotional exhaustion. You feel drained without receiving anything in return, as if you're pouring from an empty cup. Stagnation. You feel stuck in an unchanging scene, trying to escape, but every door seems closed. Or perhaps you can't even see the doors in the first place. At such moments, growth may seem impossible. But here lies the secret. Growth does not necessarily mean changing your environment. It means changing your relationship with it. Chapter 2. Adapting without losing yourself. When you live in a painful environment, you have two choices. Either adapt to the point of losing yourself, or adapt in a way that makes you stronger without losing who you are. Psychological distance. You may not always be able to change your environment, but you can change the distance between yourself and it. Imagine observing everything from afar without letting it seep into your soul. Redefining pain. What if pain is not an enemy? What if it is a teacher? Pain forces you to search for depth, for truth, for meaning beyond mere survival. Creating safe spaces. You may not control your surroundings, but you can create small personal spaces. Whether moments of silence, a book to read, or a journal to write down your thoughts. Chapter 3. Inner transformation. Now we arrive at the most important question. How can pain become a starting point instead of a barrier? Conscious suffering versus blind suffering. Some people suffer without understanding why, while others use their suffering to gain a deeper understanding of themselves. Changing from the inside out. You may not always be able to change your circumstances, but you can change your response to them. This may sound theoretical, but it is the only truth you have complete control over. Finding strength in vulnerability. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is admit your weakness. This does not mean surrendering. It means you have stopped resisting pain in the wrong way and started understanding it instead of running from it. In the end, a painful environment is not a life sentence. It is a test of your resilience, of how you see the world, and of your belief that you deserve more. Always remember, you are not defined by the place you were put in, but by how you choose to interact with it. Pain may be a harsh teacher, but it is an honest one. Growth does not happen overnight, but it takes shape every time you choose not to let your circumstances define you, but instead define yourself within them. Thank you for spending this time with me. If these words resonate with your heart, know that you are not alone. Until we meet again in another conversation where we try to make life just a little less harsh.